डियर चाय सिपिंग लिसनर्स, आप अपनी मॉर्निंग्स कैसे स्टार्ट करते हैं? मैं आपके रूटीन एक्टिविटीज़ की बात नहीं कर रही। मैं उन मोमेंट्स के बारे में पूछ रही हूँ जब सुबह सबसे पहले धीरे से आपकी अवेयरनेस नॉक करती है, आपको बुलाती है अपने साथ फिर एक नया दिन स्पेंड करने के लिए। उन मोमेंट्स में आप क्या फील करते हैं? आपका फर्स्ट थॉट क्या होता है? किसी एक्साइटिंग फैंटेसी जैसा या एक हार्श रियलिटी? और जैसे जैसे उस दिन का मीटर फुल स्पीड से स्विच ऑन हो जाता है, तब आप क्या लाइफ के ट्रेडमिल पर भागना शुरू कर देते हैं? तो ऐसे में एक पॉज कैसे लिया जाए? ऐसी ही कुछ बातों से आज हम अपने आप को थोड़ा और डिस्कवर करेंगे गुंजन आद्या के साथ। गुंजन यूनेस्को और फोर्टिस से सर्टिफाइड एक एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स और मूवमेंट थेरेपिस्ट हैं। तुला जर्नी के नाम से उनका वेंचर है और इसी नाम की जर्नल भी इन्होंने पब्लिश की है। ये इंडिया के कई सिटीज़ में वेलनेस वर्कशॉप्स कंडक्ट कर चुकी हैं, जिसमें एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट थेरेपी और माइंडफुल टी स्टोरीज़, ये 2 टाइप के एक्सपीरियंसेस ये प्रोवाइड करती हैं। तो चलिए अपने चाय के कप्स लेकर रेडी हो जाइए और एक क्वाइट कॉर्नर में कोजी होकर बैठिए। क्या आप रेडी हैं अपने आप को कहीं इस मुलाकात में ढूंढने के लिए? हेलो, नमस्ते। मैं हूँ मोनल जैन और आप सुन रहे हैं मेरा पॉडकास्ट विस्परिंग विजडम, जिसमें हम लाइफ को थोड़ा बारीकी से समझकर उसे और भी खूबसूरत बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं। विस्परिंग विजडम के इस एपिसोड में मैं आप सबको वेलकम करती हूँ। लेट्स वेलकम आवर चार्मिंग एंड पॉइज्ड गेस्ट। हाय गुंजन, वेलकम टू द शो। इट्स so lovely to have you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to be on your podcast. I'm so looking forward to this chai ke saath charcha.
True. अच्छा गुंजन, can you please tell us आपकी वेलनेस के टुवर्ड्स जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुई?
So मोनल, अगर मैं सोचूं कि कब शुरू हुई, तो एक्चुअली बचपन में ही शुरू हुई थी। when I was about maybe 11-12 years old, and हम सबके सोसाइटीज में एक आर्चीज की शॉप हुआ करती थी जहाँ पर हम सब कार्ड्स और डायरीज लेने जाते थे। So I think it started with that diary, that lock wali diary that I picked up, and there was no concept of really sharing your deep dark thoughts with anyone. And it started with that diary, just me and my diary. And जब भी मेरा कोई अच्छा दिन, mostly बुरा दिन होता था, तो मैं घर आकर उस डायरी में अपनी थॉट्स लिखती थी और उस पे अच्छे से ताला लगा के चाबी छुपाती थी कहीं पर। तो I think if I can say the wellness journey started back then without realizing कि ये wellness है, ये mental wellness है।
Right.
And कहीं बीच में जाकर वो आदत छूट गई। Or it was much later, I think, when I was in my 30s, I again put pen to paper and I again started writing, and I understood कि अच्छा इसको तो journaling बोलते हैं। फिर समझ में आया कि कितनी थेरेपी है journaling में। There's so much power in journaling because अगर आपको आदत पड़ जाए अपनी thoughts express करने, अगर आपको आदत पड़ जाए कि आप अपनी thoughts को आराम से कागज पे लिख सकते हैं and वो कोई नहीं पढ़ रहा, और उसके बाद अगर आपको कंफर्टेबल है या नहीं कंफर्टेबल है, आप उसको फाड़ के फेंक सकते हैं, आप उसको जला सकते हैं। कितने तरीके हैं टू काइंड ऑफ एक्चुअली गेट रिड ऑफ दोस नेगेटिव इमोशंस और यू नो द फीलिंग्स दैट आर ट्रबलिंग यू। आई जस्ट रियलाइज्ड दैट जर्नलिंग वाज एक्चुअली माय थेरेपिस्ट, एंड सिंस देन जर्नलिंग एवरी डे, एंड इफ आई डोंट जर्नल आई फील कि मेरा दिन पूरा नहीं हुआ।
ट्रू, I can so relate because I used to write earlier instead of a diary. मैं letters लिखती थी. I used to write letters to God. I used to write letters to my own self, and then later on it turned into journaling. Even I can really vouch for that.
Correct.
आपके initiative का नाम तुला जर्नी है. तुला means balance, like a weighing scale, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
तो balance से आपका क्या meaning है? Why did you go for this word?
So balance actually, Monal, is a very simple but yet a very powerful word. अगर आप देखें, balance हर एक चीज में required है। आपके relationships में required है, आप कैसे अपनी family में रहते हैं, especially as a woman, the kind of roles you have to play and how you have to very delicately navigate relationships. अगर आप simple चीज देखें, how we dress up also, how we cook in the kitchen, खाना बनाने में भी आपको स्वाद का balance रखना पड़ता है, different ingredients का balance रखना पड़ता है. I've been an artist, so when I'm painting, I have to balance the colors also on the canvas. So balance is required everywhere. It's such an important word. So I feel अगर आप वो बैलेंस अचीव कर पाए जो हर रोज की स्ट्रगल होती है मेरे लिए, so I think a lot of your issues and your problems will stay afar if you can strike that balance in every sphere and every aspect of your life.
True. I think it's very elusive. हम सब कहीं ना कहीं we have this idea of a very balanced life, right? और हम सब कहीं ना कहीं we are striving for it.
Yeah, and also, like you said, that balanced life क्या है? I think a lot of us get lost in the concept of that perfect, happy, balanced life. And हमें मालूम ही नहीं कि हमारे लिए क्या अच्छा है और हमारे हिसाब से वो balanced, perfect life क्या होनी चाहिए.
हम एक perfectionism का idea chase करते हैं. We think that balance is in perfectionism, whereas balance is in absorbing everything that we have. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything. Right? And probably that's the balance that we need to be working on. आज के times में with so many tasks to perform, so many things demanding our attention, it seems there's no way one can pause. ऐसा लगता है life इतनी fast आगे ले जा रही है, लेकिन हम कहीं पहुंच ही नहीं पा रहे. इस chaos में काम कैसे ढूंढें? How can one not get lost or find their way back to themselves? अपने आप से कैसे reintroduce हो सकते हैं?
So Monal, I'd like to answer that question in two parts. So firstly, life में हम कैसे उसकी pace को पकड़ें, आपने ये पूछा. So I feel it should be the other way around. We should decide the pace of our own lives, right, rather than chasing someone else's idea of that perfect life. So I think हम सब लोग बहुत influence हो जाते हैं जल्दी from, and there are so many factors these days to influence us because there's so much available out there. So it's very important to first recognize कि आप क्या चाहते हैं अपनी लाइफ से, how do you want to live your life, and secondly how to align ourselves. Your second question was that किस तरह से हम वो ढूंढें. So back in the olden days when there wasn't any navigation system, so people used to use a manual compass to find their way. And उससे पहले भी जब वो भी नहीं था तो people used to look at the North Star and get a sense of direction or get a sense of where they are. Through my brand also, which is called Tula Journey, the essence is, the logo also is actually a contemporary version of the North Star. I feel all have that North Star within us and it's about finding it. And this concept is so close to my heart because, as a person who really self-introspects and self-reflects, I feel कि आपको किसी की भी जरूरत नहीं है आपको बताने के लिए कि क्या रास्ता आपके लिए ठीक है.
So true.
आपके पास सब आंसर्स अपने अंदर हैं, बस it's just a matter of finding it. And it is the most liberating moment when you realize कि अरे मुझे तो कोई जरूरत नहीं है उस फ्रेंड की या उस थेरेपिस्ट की या to follow somebody or some, I don't know, like everyone's got their go-to people. But your answers are within you. हम जब कभी किसी फ्रेंड से भी बात करते हैं और हम पूछते हैं उसको कि अच्छा बताओ मैं ये करूं या ये करूं, she says कि you do choice number A. Sometimes we come back and we think नहीं, but I think I know I should do B. So the answers are all within us. It's all about finding that answer, finding your North Star.
Very true, because somewhere everything is within us and we just have to look for our true north. लेकिन हम खुद पर बिलीफ नहीं करते. Maybe that's the reason we keep looking for it outside.
Yeah.
आप एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स थेरेपी यूज करती हैं एज अ हीलिंग टूल. तो एक्सप्रेसिव आर्ट्स क्या क्या इनकम्पस करता है और इससे मेंटल वेलबीइंग में कैसे बेनिफिट होता है?
So मोनल, जब हम म्यूजिक सुनते हैं, बचपन से म्यूजिक सुनते आ रहे हैं या डांस करते हैं या देखते हैं तो हम सबको अच्छा लगता है. सम काइंड ऑफ क्रिएटिव फॉर्म सब लोग एंजॉय करते हैं. सबका डिफरेंट वे है ऑफ लुकिंग एट दीज आर्ट फॉर्म्स. So when people say that, when they come to my workshop also, they say, I don't know how to paint, or I'm not an artist, I always tell them it's not important. Everyone's got that deep desire to express themselves, and everybody is creative in some way or the other. So expressive arts therapy is basically using these different modalities to help your self-expression. So in my workshops, I typically we use art, of course, we use music, movement, and journaling to help people express themselves. And मेरा सबसे बड़ा challenge होता है कि जब there are 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds sometimes, when they start to paint, and I give them about 20 minutes in the end, paint their emotions. It is so difficult for me to stop them. And it's like a tug of war where I feel that I have to close the workshop now. And then when I see their faces, they are just lost in creating art, and so many of them, tell me कि हमने paintbrush शायद पता नहीं कितने सालों के बाद उठाया है. And we just don't realize it that हम सब में वो creative expression का ना, that thing of expressing ourselves is so strong, but we don't know how, and we don't give ourselves the chance or the opportunity. So that's what we try and do in the workshops. We bring out the inner child, and a lot of people have gone back and told me that somebody's taken up painting, somebody's taken up dance, somebody's started singing. So it feels like it's such a big validation for me when I hear those comments.
That's so wonderful. I mean, for people to be able to reconnect with some part of themselves, which probably they didn't even realize existed. Yeah, was always there, but they never looked at it.
बिल्कुल.
अच्छा गुंजन, when it comes to meditation, बहुत बार लोगों का ये perception होता है कि particular poses में बैठना और एक particular activity करना यही meditation है, और ये कई लोगों को difficult लगता है. Many times they can't connect with it or are uncomfortable. तो आप इस पर कुछ बता सकती हैं?
So आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि a lot of people find it difficult. कई लोग बोलते हैं कि हम बैठ नहीं सकते हैं, in that lotus pose. कई लोग बोलते हैं कि हमारी बैक दुखती है. कई लोग बोलते हैं हम pose पे concentrate करें या meditation पे concentrate करें. So there are so many mixed, confusing views on meditation for people who've never tried it. So I would only say that there is also a concept of active meditation, which I talk at length in my workshops also. कि आप जो भी काम कर रहे हैं अपने रेगुलर रूटीन में, it might be your any morning ritual that you're performing. It could be a puja, or it could be your gratitude prayer. It could be having a cup of tea in the morning. Whatever you're doing, अगर आप present हैं उस activity में, तो वो आपकी active meditation है. For a lot of people, आपने देखा होगा कि आजकल बहुत लोग knitting भी कर रहे हैं दोबारा से. And जब वो करते हैं knitting, like my mother knits, and I ask her that why have you gotten back to it? So she's like, when I'm knitting, I just get lost in the process, and it actually feels just like I meditate कर रही हूँ. So anything that you like to do, it could be painting, it could be dancing, it could be just going for a walk and being in nature. That can also be your meditation. You don't have to sit in that perfect pose. You don't have to find that shant corner and follow your breath. Of course, if you can do that, that's another level where you do kind of connect with your inner self at a very deeper level. But that comes with practice. That comes with a slight bit of hand holding. But if you cannot do that, your subha ki walk, your subha ki chai can be your meditation.
True. It's about being one with the moment and
Absolutely.
Whatever activity that you're doing, rather than a particular activity leading you to that moment. That can also happen, लेकिन आप already कर ही रहे हैं. I think ये awareness बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप, actually people ask कि how do we meditate? But the question is not how do you meditate, because you already know how to meditate. कुछ ना कुछ activity तो ऐसी है ही जिसके साथ you feel like you're so connected that you lose your sense of individuality. You're one with that activity and that moment. I think it is more about realizing that and then using it in a conscious way.
Yeah, and also I think there's so much of talk about mental health, meditation, wellness, especially on social media, that people are getting very overwhelmed also. And there are a lot of people coming to me and asking me very stressfully that अरे हमसे हो नहीं रही है meditation, and putting so much pressure on themselves, whereas it's actually not so complicated,
True.
So I really feel bad that there is this overload of information out there which is confusing some people. But I just feel that please don't get confused and please don't put that extra pressure. आप जो भी करते हैं, जो भी आपका मेथड है, जो भी तरीका है, just be comfortable in that. And कहते हैं ना, सहज और सूक्ष्म होकर करें जो भी आप कर रहे हैं. So I think that's the idea. बस comfortable होकर करें जो कर रहे हैं, and other things will follow.
Can you please tell us a bit about mindfulness? Mostly इसके बारे में awareness limited है. काफ़ी लोग माइंडफुलनेस को मेडिटेशन या जर्नलिंग से ही रिकग्नाइज करते हैं या उनसे इक्वेट करते हैं. ये सब वंडरफुल टूल्स हैं, लेकिन कभी कभी इट बिकम्स मोर अबाउट जस्ट डूइंग दीज एक्टिविटीज़ रादर देन बीइंग अ सर्टेन वे. तो माइंडफुलनेस का एसेंस क्या है और इन सब टूल्स यूज़ करने के साथ क्या थॉट प्रोसेस डेवलप कर सकते हैं?
So mindfulness actually means recollection. And in Tibetan, mindfulness also means memory. So, it suggests that you bring your presence of mind into everyday activities. And in other words, mindfulness is also the ability to gather oneself mentally. So, it all boils down to the point that, again, वही मैं दोबारा से reiterate करूंगी कि जो भी आप कर रहे हैं, अगर आप वो present होके करें, उसको mindfulness बोलते हैं. And in these days, I read somewhere this term that we've all become cyber zombies. We are scrolling on Instagram or we are scrolling through various websites. तो हम अपने आप को वो चांस ही नहीं देते कि हम अपने आप को डिस्कनेक्ट करें उस आउटर वर्ल्ड से और इनर वर्ल्ड से कनेक्ट करें. Back in the day, there was this word called boredom, which was a serious word for us children growing up.
True.
And a lot of scientists and psychotherapists, they say that जब हम बोर होते थे ना, तो हमें क्रिएटिव होने का चांस मिलता था. हमें कुछ क्रिएट करने का, इन्वेंशंस होती थी तब. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो सो इम्पोर्टेंट. हम अपने बच्चों को बोर ही नहीं होने देते हैं.
So true.
और हम अपने आप को भी बोर नहीं होने देते. हम अपने आप को इतना बिजी रखते हैं कॉन्स्टेंटली. एंड आई सी स्पेशली women above 40, 45 who kind of their kids have grown up. They are in that space where they don't have much to do, maybe who are not working. They fill up their days with too many activities. And when asked why, they're like, then what do? We have to keep ourselves busy. And I always ask them, कि आप busy हैं या productive हैं? आपको उसमें अंतर मालूम है? So it's very important to recognize that are we keeping ourselves productive or only busy in zero value activities? तो जब हम ये सब कुछ करते हैं तो हम माइंडफुल हो ही नहीं सकते. हम कितने बार सुनते हैं, अरे मुझे कुछ याद ही नहीं रहता, I've got a lot of memory loss. Why? Because we are not present. We are just एक सेकंड में हम अपना फोन उठा लेते हैं, एक सेकंड में हम टॉपिक चेंज कर देते हैं जो हमें टॉपिक पसंद नहीं आता बात करने का. So there's so many things that we are not doing properly. We are just running away from a lot of things.
Escapism है एक तरह का ये. Something we are trying to escape. Maybe we've gotten used to it. इसलिए just out of habit कि हमें अपने आप को बिजी रखना ही है. So we are escaping boredom.
Correct. And also, through the course of our lives, we carry so much emotional baggage. Like we carry negative emotions also, like anger, fear, guilt, shame. And we need to understand that we need to release those emotions. We keep reading these days, if you collect these negative emotions, it manifests into something toxic health-wise. And that is true. That is actually true. Like aches and pains and headaches, all of these are manifestations of the accumulated toxic emotions that we accumulate. Then I'll come back to what I just said, कि mindfulness. अब वो माइंडफुलनेस अगर होगी तो हम उस इमोशन के साथ बैठेंगे, उसको डील करने का तरीका ढूंढेंगे. लेकिन हम अपने आप को इतना बिजी कर लेते हैं एंड वी आर एस्केपिंग दैट कि हम उसको एड्रेस नहीं करना चाहते. एंड उस पूरे कॉन्सेप्ट में कोई वैल्यू नहीं रहती. Because when you don't address an issue, when you don't sit with your sorrow or your grief or something that's troubling you, how are you going to heal that part of you? Right? So everything is so interconnected. Now, without you even asking me the next question, I might just say that, उसको कैसे heal करना चाहिए, उसको journaling के through heal करना चाहिए. True. Keep coming back to that because जब आप लिखते हैं, आप वो सब कुछ अपना बाहर निकाल देते हैं. And you feel so much lighter. And so many people ask me कि अरे हमने कभी journaling करी नहीं, हम कैसे करें, कैसे start करें, हमने ब्लैंक पेपर एक रखा अपने सामने और हमें समझ नहीं आया कि हम क्या लिखें. So because of that also this journal that I created under the brand Tula Journey is a prompt-led journal. तो उसमें I've created over 50 prompts which talk about different aspects of your life, different parts of your life, and it touches upon different emotions. I won't say that आप वो लें और जर्नल करें because आपको बहुत हेल्प होगी. Of course हेल्प होगी, but it does make you feel uncomfortable because it means that you have to deal with some parts that you don't like to talk about.
जो हमने suppress कर रखा है.
Yeah, but for sure if you do that you will feel better.
एक general idea भी है ना around negative emotions कि you should not have negative emotions. This the whole happiness club. कई लोग ये सोचते हैं that you have to be positive all the time, which is also such a fallacy.
बिल्कुल.
क्योंकि आप ह्यूमन हैं तो हर तरह के इमोशंस होंगे. आपको ये सीखना है कि हाउ टू फेस दोज इमोशंस एंड उनसे डील करने के क्रिएट वेज टू डील विद देम सो दैट दे आर आउट ऑफ योर सिस्टम रादर देन दिस. मेनी टाइम्स वो हैप्पीनेस के चक्कर में या पॉजिटिविटी के इन्फ्लुएंस में people are just burying them deep inside, thinking they're shameful for having negative emotions. They feel shameful. तो ये भी एक बड़ा misconception है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
आप mindful tea stories conduct करती हैं, तो उसके through आप क्या experience provide करती हैं?
Again, Monal, it goes back to an experience that I want to share. मैं अपनी सुबह की चाय, we are lucky to have staff, so कोई किचन में बना देता था, दे देता था. Or while my kids were getting ready for school, I would have my tea, giving instructions to maybe the gardener outside. तो इसमें मेरी चाय कब खत्म होती थी मुझे पता भी नहीं चलता था. And I used to wonder कि अरे खत्म भी हो गई. I didn't even realize कब खत्म हो गई. So from that experience, I thought I want to change that. I want to have my tea when I have the time to have it. And वो कब मिलता था time? जब सबसे पहले अगर मैं उठूं सबके उठने से पहले. So I started to take those 20 minutes in the morning for myself and I started to make my own tea. I really enjoy. मैं अपनी चाय खुद बनाती हूँ. And every step of making your own chai is actually active meditation. Watching that water boil, those bubbles, there's so much beauty in that. Adding the chai patti to it and seeing the water change its color, there's so much beauty in that. Then adding a splash of milk and again seeing that, dissipating and changing the color of the liquid. It is actually an art form, you're just seeing an art. Tea making is an art. When I started to look at all those steps, I actually thought कि ये मेरी सुबह की meditation है. It's my meditation. And then I would sit with my cup of tea without any newspaper, without any phone. I really, that's my sacred time. I really enjoy that cup of tea because it's done mindfully. I am absolutely 100% present when I'm having that chai. I have so much gratitude. I say my affirmations while I'm having the chai. So, wo subah I feel I've connected with nature. I've connected with my God. I've connected with my inner self. So that becomes like the most important, beautiful and sacred part of my day. And from there, I thought that, why not share this experience with other people? So the workshop ka idea came about. Which also came about from a trip to Japan where I visited these tea houses and they have this very ancient culture कि जहाँ पर tea houses पहले जब होते थे तो travelers या warriors जो भी on their journey होते थे वो tea house में रुकते थे and they were supposed to remove their shoes and remove all of their tools maybe or their, if it's a warrior, the swords and come inside. So the concept was कि जब वो अंदर आते हैं वो सब एक हैं, वो एक level पे है. There is no high up. So I love that philosophy and that's what we try to do in our tea workshop also. We create a space and not in many words we try and say that we all are equal over here. There is no hierarchy. Nobody is different. The backgrounds don't matter. We are all in this space that we're going to hold for each other. And we're going to mindfully make a cup of tea and relearn the essence of having the most simple thing like chai in a more present and beautiful and mindful way. So that's what we're trying to do. And I know for a fact that many people have changed the way they have their morning chai now. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. That's beautiful because being able to remove that difference between that hierarchy difference, or it could be anything, a difference in opinions, perceptions, personalities, is so important for all of us to grow. नहीं तो हम एक बहुत limited way में जीने लगते हैं, कि only me and my thoughts, me and my circle or periphery, I will not go beyond that. Like, if I would give you my example, I've learned a lot from the housekeeping staff which is there in our society. Even though they are busier than me, I'm going for my morning walk and they are working. So for me it is leisure और उनके लिए वो काम है. But they would without fail always greet me, looking up from their work. And one day I realized they have so much to give me. And how come I'm so occupied in my thoughts that I didn't notice them? And from that day onwards, even I make sure to greet everyone. Of course, we greet people whom we are associated with closely, or we think who are of our stature. But हम थोड़ा सा shrug off कर देते हैं, या we don't pay attention. Or in fact, for that person, that acknowledgement means much more than the acknowledgement that we give to other people who are already getting it from so many people. They gave me so much, and then I realized, oh God, I'm getting so much, I too need to give back.
Monal, that's so wonderful what you're sharing. And जैसे आप बात कर रही हो ना, मैं सोच रही हूँ कि so many times हम कोई रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हैं, कोई होटल में, and the gatekeeper would say namaste to you, and we just nod our heads and we walk in.
Yeah.
So it's making me think that we should actually look at them and reciprocate that namaste and say it with a smile. Which most of the times, ठीक है, घर पे staff को maybe we do that, but बाहर नहीं करते हैं. And thank you for sharing that. That's really a wonderful thought.
I'm glad. As many people, who can do this, it would be so good. Because on a soul level, all of us are, equality की भी बात नहीं है, we are all the same. We are made of the same stuff. It's just that हम भूल जाते हैं वो चीज़, in our daily lives. गुंजन, और क्या एवेन्यूज हो सकते हैं डेली लाइफ में माइंडफुलनेस इंट्रोड्यूस करने के? कोई नॉन टी ड्रिंकर है या क्रिएटिव एक्सप्रेशन इज नॉट समवन्स कप ऑफ टी, ऐसे में वो कैसे आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि उनके लिए क्या वर्क कर सकता है?
सो नॉन टी ड्रिंकर तो समझ में आता है, बट क्रिएटिव एक्सप्रेशन तो मैं नहीं मान सकती कि सबका नहीं होगा. सबका ही होता है. Some people are good at expressing themselves through, how they negotiate deals. If you talk about the corporate world, some people express themselves with the way they dress up, the kind of colors they choose to express themselves. So subconsciously, हम सब में creative expression है. कई लोग किचन में वो दिखा सकते हैं. So I feel वो सब में होता है. It's about recognizing it. And secondly, other avenues. So my own personal favorite, apart from journaling, is saying my morning affirmations. So I feel affirmations are such a magical and powerful way to tweak your life. I completely believe that there are 5 words that I swear by. Whatever you practice becomes stronger.
Yes.
जब आप अच्छी चीजें बोले, हर रोज सुबह उठकर एक इंटेंशन डाल दें in the universe. Today my intention is to maybe eat mindfully, or today my intention is to be more productive or spend time with so and so. एक तो intention डालें जो मैं रोज सुबह करती हूँ, whatever I feel needs work. And secondly, say something positive to yourself. Like saying a positive affirmation actually tweaks how you are thinking.
True.
So we have a deck of cards which has 50 affirmations in it. So मैं सुबह एक कार्ड निकालती हूँ and I take a picture of that, and that becomes my screensaver for the day on my iPad, on phone. So whenever I feel that I'm feeling a little low or I'm feeling a little confused, I just look at that and I tell myself that this is the message from the universe today. So read this, believe in it, and it will work and it will happen.
It does.
It happens. I mean, if I sit and I tell you my life story from, what kind of a child I was, and here I am, a founder of a mental wellness brand. Like, I sometimes don't believe that I have embarked on this journey and I have fulfilled so many of my dreams, and it's only happened because I've been very, very positive. My outlook has been really positive, and, these things do work.
Lovely. Thank you, Gunjan. This was a very deep and heartfelt conversation. मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि आपसे बात करके मैं भी एकदम काम फील कर रही हूँ. कोई भी एफर्ट के बिना भी, विदाउट एनी प्रैक्टिसेस और विदाउट एनीथिंग एल्स ऑल्सो, आई एम फीलिंग सो काम इनसाइड. आपकी ऑरा में यू हैव दैट क्वालिटी. थैंक्स फॉर बीइंग सच एन अमेजिंग गेस्ट. अगर कोई भी गुंजन से कनेक्ट होना चाहें तो कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिए हुए हैं. और अब टाइम है हमारे स्पेशल क्वेश्चन राउंड का, विच आई कॉल द फैब 5. आई विल बी आस्किंग यू क्वेश्चंस एंड यू हैव टू आंसर इन शॉर्ट, एक वर्ड या एक सेंटेंस में. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. एक्टिंग, सिंगिंग और डांसिंग एट एनी गिवन टाइम आप कौन से मीडियम से एक्सप्रेस करना प्रेफर करेंगी?
सिंगिंग.
नाइस. आपकी ऑल टाइम फेवरेट आर्ट एक्टिविटी क्या है?
I love life drawing, so I have a little notepad in my bag all the time. तो अगर मैं कहीं पर एयरपोर्ट पे हूँ या कहीं पर भी बैठी हूँ and I feel like that there's a beautiful scene in front of me, I like to sketch it out.
Okay. Listeners के लिए कोई बुक रिकमेंडेशन दीजिए.
Okay, there's so many, but I swear by Elif Shafak's book called 40 Rules of Love.
It's one of my favorites too. I love it. अगर आप एक डेजर्टेड आइलैंड पर कोई 3 चीजें ले जा सकती तो क्या लेकर जाती?
My journal, paints, and yeah, I'm good with this.
Okay. कोई भी अपनी माइंडफुलनेस जर्नी स्टार्ट कर रहा हो तो उसे आप कहाँ से स्टार्ट करने की एडवाइस देंगी?
So I would tell them that please start writing your thoughts down. Journaling as a word might sound intimidating. आप उसको journaling मत समझिए, आप बस सोचिए कि मैं अपनी thoughts लिख रही हूँ. Write a letter, you suggest it. Write a letter to yourself.
Right. Thank you so much. These were so insightful.
Thank you, Monal. It was insightful to be here because a lot of things I have taken from you, and that's what I love doing such activities, because there's an exchange of ideas and there's an exchange of energies. So like you complimented me that there is a calm aura, I would also say that about you. You have such a beautiful and calming energy that it was so comfortable for me to just say my thoughts over here without any ums and ands and hesitation. So thank you for having me here, and I hope we can meet soon and do more of these.
Oh yes, definitely. I would really want us to collaborate and just bring this joy to other people as well. इस एपिसोड को सुनने के लिए मैं आप सबको थैंक यू कहना चाहती हूँ. अगर इनमें से कुछ विचार आपको अपने से लगे, कहीं मन को छू गए, तो आप मुझे मैसेज कर सकते हैं इंस्टाग्राम या फेसबुक पर. मेरे बारे में और जानना हो तो मेरी वेबसाइट पर आप देख सकते हैं. इन सब की डिटेल्स नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में मेंशन की गई हैं. आप जिस भी ऐप पर मुझे सुन रहे हैं उस पर मुझे 5 स्टार रेटिंग देना मत भूलिएगा. और अगर आपको मेरी बातें अच्छी लगें तो मेरा शो सब्सक्राइब भी कीजिए. विजडम एक सागर की तरह है जिसमें जब जब हाथ डालो तब तब एक सुंदर मोती मिलता है. लेकिन उस मोती की चमक कोई एक के लिए नहीं, पूरी दुनिया के लिए है. और इसे जितना शेयर करो उतना ही इस मोती की चमक बढ़ेगी. इसलिए मेरा पॉडकास्ट अपने आसपास, अपनी फैमिली, फ्रेंड्स, कलीग्स सबके साथ शेयर कीजिए और इस विस्परिंग की चेन को बढ़ाते चलिए. अगर करनी हो जीवन को समझने की कुछ बातें तो करते रहिए मुलाकातें.